Hi there and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Leslie Von Metnitz. I'm a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator and I'm still very new to the YouTube videos. So I'm just going to record this and see how it turns out before I post it. Hopefully everything's okay. So this is my take on a masculine card. I have a swap coming up and the theme is masculine, and it's hard for everybody, I know, because you want to add bows and ribbons and all that stuff, but there's lots of men in our lives that need cards too. So here goes. This is what we're going to create today, and we're just going to go ahead and get started. So this is going to be a card base using the Misty Moonlight, and then we're going to use the Country Lace DSP. We've got Smoky Slate in here. I'm using the Cane Weave 3D embossing folder and the Modern Oval Punch. We're going to use the stamp set In This Moment. I'm thinking that it's actually not current, so I'm going to have to change the sentiment for my swap. And then we've got the Smoky Slate gems. They're the Smoky Slate and Basic Gray, I believe. They are current, so we're going to try those. So I'm going to move this and we're going to go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is take our paper trimmer and we're going to cut our card base. So we've got an 8.5 by 11. We're going to cut it in half at 5.5, and then we're going to score it at 4.25. So that's just a basic card base. And then you have your score line here, and you just fold with the bump on the inside, and then we're going to move that over. Actually, we'll take our Smoky Slate and we're going to cut the piece that we're going to emboss. So it's going to be 4 by 5.25. So what I like to do normally is I'm going to cut it at 5.5 first, and that way I've got a card base over to the side ready to go, and then I'm going to just trim this one down. So we're going to do 4 inches here, and then we're going to trim this down to the 5.25. I don't know if it seems like extra steps, but it seems to work well for me, because then I don't have to think about it too much. It's just ready to go. So now I've already pre-cut. The first strip here is going to be 2 inches by 5.25. So I have this left over from the other card, and so it's already the 2 inches wide here, but I'm just going to cut it down to the 5.25 here. And then we're going to set that aside. And then this one here is already pre-cut from the other one. So this piece here is going to be 2 by 4 inches. We are also going to, I think that's all the cutting we've got. So we're going to put the trimmer away. And then we're going to pull out the Stampin' Emboss machine. Sorry, I'm not sure about this videoing. I don't have a setup that makes it really easy, so everything's kind of in the way. But I'm just trying to show you a little bit. So when you're doing your 3D embossing folder, you're going to use platform 1 here. And then at the bottom, it's going to show you, you're also going to use platform 4. So you're going to put platform 1 in there. And then you're going to line up your embossing folder here. And on your folder, there's this little line at the bottom. And if you just line your paper up, you're going to get a nice even crease, an even design, sorry. So I'm going to put my sandwich in there. I'm going to put the 4 on top, and I'm just going to go ahead and run it through. All right. We're going to get that out of the way. Took me a long time to decide to buy that because I've got the old Big Shot. And it's just really nice how it just folds up and puts away when you're done with it. So I really like that. And this really is very easy to assemble. So what we're going to do is our stamping really quick. And then from the In the Moment stamp set, I've picked You're Always So Good to Others, Be Good to Yourself Too. So we're going to stamp that with Misty Moonlight. We're just going to stamp it right here. Close up our ink because I did this earlier and I was wearing ink all over my fingers because I couldn't close it right. So now we're going to take our Modern Oval Punch from the mini catalog from last year. It is still current, so that was really handy because I really like this punch. And we're just going to punch it real quick and get those out of the way. And then we've got this all right here. And let's look at this other one. And it looks like we need a strip of Misty Moonlight. And I had that just as a scrap. And so it's just barely over 1 inch. So I don't think that one matters as much when I find my trimmer. How thick or thin you want it. So I'm just going to do a 1 inch strip. And then how I figured on the length of it is I kind of just went like this and I decided that's about how long I want it. So there we go. The one thing to do for sure is to make sure that your ink is dry. Some of these new ink pads are a little bit juicy, and if you see right above the Your, it's got a little bit of a smudge. I'm just going to make this for my stash anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and use it, but normally if I was going to be swapping or anything like that, I would not be using it. So now it's just time to put this card together. So let's go ahead and put all our pieces to the side and we'll start assembling. We're going to start with our smoky slate. I'm going to use my Stamp and Seal because I've got the embossing folder is going to raise it a little bit. So the seal will be very, it will make it adhere better and stay. And you don't want to give somebody a card and then all of a sudden have the adhesive start wearing off because it's a nice 3D dimension thing. And looks like I might have been a little bit crooked on my embossing folder. And then I just kind of rubbed it a little bit in some spots and it kind of lowers it and then raises it in others. And I thought it looked really cool. It's kind of a distressed look. Then I'm going to just glue this piece right on top. And I left just a little bit of room on the edge, and that way you can see the smoky slate. And then we're going to go with this one. And do this right. I just went right along to the line. And it doesn't really matter, but wherever you want it. Now I'm going to just do a couple here right in the middle because I'm only going to stick this down in the middle. I'm going to put it over to the side just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm going to make this into a little bit of a, like the end of an arrow. I forgot what that's called. And then I need my dimensionals, which we always keep just right next to us. And I'm going to just put them right here on the back. You don't have to use a lot, but you can really use as many as you want to. We'll get them out of here. And then usually after you're done with a project, you will find dimensionals everywhere in your house. All right, so I just adhered that with my dimensionals. almost forgot to grab my Basic Gray and Smoky Slate Pearls. So I'm just going to use these big ones here. Use the tips of my scissors. I watched somebody do that and I just thought that was just a great idea. And then I'm going to use one of my small ones. And I think I'm going to put that right down here at the bottom. Just kind of let it sit there. And that card is now done. So we've got this one and this one. And they're pretty darn close to exactly the same, except I was a little bit crooked on the second one. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something. Feel free to check out my links on my YouTube channel, and it'll tell you my Stampin' Up! Channel if you want to shop with me. If not, just enjoy watching. I don't do this very often, but I'm really trying to get better because it's fun. I enjoy it, and after a long day of working in the yard and hanging out with the animals, it's fun to just come in here and make something. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.